One of the things I love to talk about and love to work with my clients and students on is making sure that we're showing up as our best self. When we show up as the best version of ourselves, that is how we're truly going to have the best connections, be able to deliver the right value, and really make sure that we are, again, working at our optimal level. So, how do we know if we're showing up as the best version of ourselves? This is an exercise that I have walked countless people through, and I call it the 5 words. I've talked about it several times, but it really helps to get you in a place where you can define what it means for you, because we all have a version of ourselves and everyone is different than the next person. So we've got to first help you define what it means for you to show up as your best self, then talk about how we're going to use that and leverage that to have the best and deepest connections in delivering value. So here we go. Make sure you're ready to write these down. What I want you to do first is I want you to think about a time that we're going to call it in the zone. We all have had that moment where you left an interaction. Maybe you had a client meeting, maybe you even had a phone call, and it went so well that you left that moment and you said to yourself, I nailed it. We've all had that moment where we feel empowered. We feel like we were on point and everything was moving the way that it needs to move. That is how we know we're in the zone. What I want you to do now is I want you to think about the last time that you were in that moment. It could be today. Maybe it was yesterday. Maybe it was in the last few weeks, but think of a moment that you were in the zone. Then what I want you to do is to close your eyes and write down. Well, close your eyes, then you can open them and write it down. But write down what are 5 words that you would use to describe yourself in that moment. Do not overthink it, but go in and reflect on that moment. What are 5 words that you would use to describe yourself in that moment? Some of the words you might use: confident, purposeful, intentional, energized, happy, joyous, clear. All of these things. For me, here are my 5 words: energized, prepared, passionate, motivating, and genuine. Those are the words that represent Clara when Clara is at her best. If you think about it, that is my best self. Because if I show up, regardless of what I'm doing, whether it's a speaking engagement, coaching, writing, whatever it is that I'm doing, if I show up as anything less than those 5 words, I am not showing up as my best. Therefore, I cannot give my best. So how do we use this? What I encourage you to do is to use this as a guide, as a compass for each and every day. What I do is I check in with these words. It's part of my morning routine, and it's one of the last things I do before I dive into work mode, is I look over those 5 words and I ask myself, are you prepared to be this version today? Now, if it's a day off, that's a whole different story. But on any day that is a work day, I want you to make sure that you are showing up as these 5 words, because this is what your clients are paying you for. This is what they are expecting from you. So it's a great way to make sure that you are showing up and going into everything that is intentional for you as the best version of yourself. You can do this in the afternoon, however you want to do it. I have a lot of people that even check in with these words to get their game face on. So before they go into any type of appointment, they check in. It could be similar to even listening to a song, something that's going to, again, pump you up. But when you go into your interactions as the best version of yourself, that's how you're going to be able to deliver the best to those you're working with. So hope this was helpful for you. Keep following for more tips to productivity and success.